This is a U.S.-China Media Brief produced by the UCLA Asian American Studies Center. The U.S.-China Media Brief features interviews with experts and other prominent individuals involved in studying and documenting the dynamic and ever-evolving relationship between the United States of America and the People's Republic of China. I'm Russell Leong, Director of the U.S.-China Media Brief of the UCLA Asian American Studies Center. Our purpose is to provide a more balanced view of U.S.-China relations for the U.S. media through our media brief and website.
This meeting came out of a discussion that we had concerning building a Chinese American Studies Endowment at UCLA. The Chinese American Studies Endowment goal is to create a first ever in our country endowed chair at UCLA for Chinese American Studies. We think it's very important. But during that discussion, people asked, what type of person do you want to sit in the chair at UCLA? And how do you want to, what would be the procedure to ensure that the person who we select to disseminate information about Chinese Americans does it correctly? And one idea that we came up with was to hold yearly in the community a sort of an annual report by UCLA Asian American Studies Center. Come to Monterey Park, come to Chinatown, come to where the community is, and give a report. You know, what is UCLA Asian American Studies doing? I think in that way, we as a community not only can understand the achievements and accomplishments that are being made yearly at the study center, at the same time we can build up our support for these programs, which I think is very important, particularly at this time. You know, all this talk about cutting out this and that within the state. We're turning over our state to people who would rather turn it into one large prison than to educate our youth to improve our society going out into the future. And we all know, as parents, that our young people are our most precious assets. And when you look at the Asian American Studies Center in its 40-year history at UCLA, you can see that while UCLA has been a good institution in enriching the minds of students, I think if you look at and examine the work of the Asian American Studies Center, it has been doing an excellent job of enriching the hearts of these students. They've been bringing students into the community, getting them to see, you know, the hardships that their parents have come through and gone through to get them to those institutions, to pay those bills at those institutions. And as a consequence, a lot of these students who've come and did research projects, come and did volunteer work in the community, have in turn become our community's leaders. In fact, in today's panel that we're going to have, you're going to, if people don't know Stewart Kwoh, he was at the founding of the Asian American Studies Center. Mike Yang, he was I remember him way back in the 70s as a student at UCLA, so eager and energetic to change the world. And you know, you see Mike today, he still has that energy, that endless energy to change things. I'm glad that UCLA pointed him in this direction towards our community. So that's basically why we're here today. I think it's going to be a program. I think everybody can leave here and say we should do this every year. I just wanted to mention too that, like a lot of people know me as belonging to the Chinese American Historical Society. And I just couldn't help but notice how historic this gathering is here today. I don't know if people realize that, this is the very chambers that we've had our first Chinese American woman mayor presiding. I'd like to introduce her. She's right here, Lily Cheng. This is also like and Lily knows, it was like the battlegrounds against when they were trying to make Chinese official language of Monterey Park. This is where, this is where I came up and talked to the audience, talked to the city, and it was a very large controversy at the time and heavy fight. But out of that battle, I think what that was created was a coalition of Chinese, whites, Latinos, all opposing this anti-immigration, immigrant type of sentiment that was being put on the city. And we're a better community after that battle. And I wanted to point that out because one of our speakers, Mike Ng, was one of the ones who helped pull together that coalition, along with Lily.
The copyrighted program is a property of the University of California, Los Angeles. All rights reserved. It may be used freely for educational and not-for-profit activities. For other uses or to make an inquiry, please contact the Asian American Studies Center at UCLA.